Hi, this is Tashina,
And this is Jonathan.
and this is Abandoned Ship, podcast where we take you through Deep Space Nine.
And today we have Season 2, Episode 9?
Yes.
Yes. Second Sight.
Mm-hmm. It was an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was one of the, again, another one of those ones that I was pretty sure was a little mid. It has some moments, though.
It's not terrible. It's just kind of meh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, noticeably in the opening, which is probably just the best part of the episode.
Oh, yeah, the cold opening
With
is
him
the
and
best.
Jake.
Yeah.
Like, that is great.
Yeah, if we had more of that emotional substance throughout, maybe.
Yeah, Jake and Sisko, like, a really touching father-son moment.
Yeah, because we open up in their quarters. Sisko's doing something, playing a game, probably 4D chess, I don't know. And Jake comes out and he's just like, oh, I couldn't sleep. I had a bad dream. He's like, oh, Dad, what are you doing up? And from the cold opening, we know it's the 4th anniversary of Jennifer, right? Jennifer's death, Sisko's wife, Jake's mom. And looks like they're both having a rough night.
Yep.
So Jake goes into his bad dream. I also like the way it's staged, like he's sitting right next to Sisko. They're like really close together, and it's like really like focused in. It's like really up close. And Jake explains his dream, and it's pretty much just he's going all over the station, and at every turn he just cannot find his dad. He keeps losing his dad, and knowing what day it is, that hit hard. And I think it goes Jake. One of them goes, I miss her. And the other goes, me too.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's a very sweet moment.
Yeah, this took me off a bit. And it also just like their acting really sells it. Like they're both really good. They both feel really genuine, especially Sisko. Like you really just believe that.
They feel like father and son.
It's great.
It's interesting that, especially with how young Jake is, probably this is one of the most believable relationships on the station. I'm not sure how they got there, like what work they did off camera, but whatever they did, it worked because they are...
Well, I know they have a really good relationship, effectively a father-son relationship off the camera.
Okay.
On set, like he sort of took him under his wing, right?
And you can sense that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's real chemistry.
Every time they interact, I just feel father and son energy.
Yep. And
so that was the cold opening.
Yeah. And the rest of the episode does not really deserve that opening.
Yeah. Like it sets up why Sisko is kind of in this longing mood he's in throughout the episode. But yeah, nothing in the rest of the episode really matches the emotional weight of this.
Because the rest of it's
moment.
so surface level.
Yeah.
So shallow. And for this thing so deep, you're just like waiting for something to connect at that level, and it
And
doesn't.
I wonder if it's because, and I'm jumping ahead, but the relationship we see with Sisko and Feta is surface level. They don't talk really anything.
Right.
At least we don't see that. We don't.
I think we see almost every moment that they're
Isn't that crazy? Because it feels like the way they're talking, like they spent hours with each other, talking about stuff. And I'm like, I hope so, because if what we saw was the pinnacle, oh boy. Sisko might need to go to therapy because he's in an emotional state. If
I love you.
Exactly.
I've known you for 5 minutes.
Exactly. So when it comes to the end, it's not really that sad to me, where I feel like you could have had an episode where you saw the two of them really bond together. So when we get to this ending, it is tragic. It feels like he's lost another like important relation. There's something else he's losing again. Like even before it really begins, he's losing again. That's what it should have felt like. All right. So after the sweet moment with Jake and Sisko, I guess Sisko still can't sleep. So he starts walking around the promenade, and he looks out the window, and then turns around to see a lady in a red jumpsuit. I
Some
wrote
kind of
red dress, and then they did
it's like a
they
jumpsuit with
put
like a big
big cape,
sheer
sheer cape.
poncho.
Um, we get her name is Fenna, and now I will have to say there is instant chemistry.
Yes.
That is apparent. They did a good job on that front. Um, just didn't really go beyond that. And then, he's trying to get more information out of her, like, "Where are you going?" Because she's like, "Oh, I gotta leave soon," and she's like, "Oh, you never know where you're gonna go next." I'm like, "Hmm, you're out in space, I feel like you should at least know the next
Should
step,
probably know.
but
Yeah.
whatever." Oh, that's what Cisco sorry, that's what Cisco said, and I wrote, "Cisco summed up show." You never know what's gonna happen next. But yeah, she doesn't know where she's going, and then Cisco looks away while he's talking and looks back, and
She's
she's
gone.
gone. Dun, dun, dun. Credits. Now we're in ops, where I guess it seems like it's the morning, the start of the day at least. The Cisco comes in, all happy, all chipper. Miles is, fixing everything on the ship, and he's bantering back and forth with him. And then Kira starts side eyeing Cisco from across the ops. Because instead of getting his coffee, he gets tea.
And this greatly upsets her.
She goes, "Every morning you come in, I can't even speak to you until you have your coffee."
Don't talk to me till I've had my latte.
And Cisco's like, "Well, yeah, I can't. I don't really function until I have my coffee." And she's like, "But you are having tea? Who are you, sir? What alien replaced you?" Man, glad he's not married to Keiko, because you probably would have made a real big thing out of this.
Is that coming up, or have you talked about that yet?
We haven't talked about that yet.
Okay.
The coffee episode.
Right.
Yeah. Kira's still side-eyeing him like, "You're too happy. You're too chipper."
What's wrong with you?
Dex calls in, blah, 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 some professor is here. And he's in the science lab, and Cisco, come on down.
Yeah, this is kind of an awkward intro because I would expect this Professor Satic to be introduced like in a log.
Yeah.
Um,
And Professor,
it's
what's
just like
his face,
Professor
is
Satic
coming
and I are
in.
in the science lab. I'm like, wait, who? Huh?
I don't even have the guy's name. I just wrote Professor.
Sayatek.
Yeah, okay, sure. In the science lab, we meet the, I kindly put eccentric professor. He's a
Professor KFC.
he he's a terraformer. So he creates new planets, worlds, and Cisco and him keep talking about this Blue Horizons planet. Where apparently everything on it has a blue name, like the Sapphire Falls that go into the cerulean pools, and I'm like, I think we both started singing, "I'm blue, da ba dee da ba da." Like, was this song inspired by this episode or the other way around?
Yeah, apparently, I guess it's a thing in this universe that terraformers are all
All the rage.
self-important, obnoxious
Whew, yeah, we'll get a little bit
know-alls.
more on this professor, but he is a character.
Yes, he plays it to a 10.
Yeah, no, I wonder if he was a stage actor, because
Definitely feels like it. Oh yeah.
he's playing to the back row.
He's playing to the lobby.
So the professor is here to birth a star. Exciting. I guess reignited is more
Mm-hmm.
the actual terminology,
Yes.
but whatever. Yeah, there's a dead star, and he's gonna do something to make it alive again. Cool beans.
It feels like the way they describe it, an incredibly simple thing. They're just gonna like shoot something into it, which so
I
like, oh
feel
yeah,
like
he's so brilliant. Only terraformers can do these things. They're so complicated. And we're just gonna,
I feel
they're
like
just gonna shoot
creating
it.
a blue world is a bit more complicated,
Yeah, this is
but
just
what do
like
I know? I'm a dummy.
pew, and we're done.
Go to the promenade where Dax and Cisco are having a meal, and Dax is, chatting away about the star business. And Sisko is distracted. He keeps looking out to prom, looking around, and business talk. But she notices that he's distracted. Who are you looking for? Who are you looking for, Sisko? So he walks off on the promenade again. I think he looks out the same window, turns around to find Fenna, and takes her on the tour of the station. They go to a different window in a very secluded area that, like, kind of looks, like, more down onto the
Yeah, it's on one of the
station.
pylon, one of
Okay.
the big hook things on top.
Yes. And they're talking about how they should have a picnic.
Apparently aliens have picnic baskets too.
And he starts pressing her for information because it sounds like I guess from what we gathered during this tour, he's given her a lot of information about his situation in life, but not really gotten anything from her. But he loves her. Doesn't know a thing about her, but whatever. And as soon as he starts pressing at all, she's like, "Bye, leave
I
in a
gotta go.
hurry." Back in Cisco quarters, Jake and Cisco are having a meal, and Cisco's kind of looking off while Jake is relaying the story of a classmate who I guess ate something,
And then threw up.
threw up. Oh, they thought it was some kind of worm that Klingons use in their meals, but it's a real worm, and the person threw up, and ha 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 ha's, and Cisco's like, "Oh, that's great," and Jake's like, I don't think she thinks it's great she threw up." He goes, "Dad, are you in love?" And Cisco's like, What?" Apparently, Nog gave him pointers about what someone looks like in love, which Cisco's like, "You and Nog talking about love?" And Jake's like, "I want to meet this girl." And Cisco's like, "Son, I don't know. It's kind of early for this."
Yeah, I've only known her for like 10 minutes.
I know. I think it's interesting how everybody is in Cisco's business, but it is probably because the way he's acting, it does seem like it's a little further along than they've met twice.
They've basically been on one date. Maybe.
Yes. They had an introduction and a date.
Maybe a date.
Maybe we're stretching the definition there.
Oh, the last one, and both of them she has vanished from, mysteriously. Which Sisko mentions.
Yes. Which I feel like if your son is already wanting to meet this person, I would explain, I literally just met them, not a barely date. We need to at least have a few more dates before you are meeting anybody.
Yeah, this should be at the intriguing stage. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, you go
what's
straight
her
to winner.
story?
Exactly. Jake should be asking questions about her, which would highlight then Sisko knowing nothing.
Yes.
Which we find when he goes to Odo.
Yes.
You get away. What happens in security?
He talks to Odo.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, he talks to Odo. He's trying to find the lady in red. And Odo asks a bunch of questions where he's like, I don't know. I don't know. Odo, what can you tell me?
She was wearing red.
Thanks, Sisko. I will try my best.
I feel like there were other things you could probably mention, like ears, and she's clearly some kind of alien. But
They're all aliens there.
I have that whole conversation where they're madly in love. He doesn't know anything about her.
Nothing.
Men.
Men.
All he sees is what she looks like, what she's wearing. Typical.
Sisko heads to Ops, where Dax comes up and says, "Hey, let's go talk in your office." And she wants to talk to him about Fenna. And she's a little upset because she thinks Sisko is keeping this relationship from her because she's a lady now. She's like, "You would have told Curzon everything." And it's kind of funny because Sisko just hasn't told her because he literally doesn't really have much to tell other than she keeps disappearing. And he's trying to tell her that, like, no, it has nothing with you being, a female now. And Dak's like, "But I want you to talk to man to man to me."
So even Cisco seems to be acknowledging at this point that he doesn't really know anything about her.
Yeah, 'cause everybody's treating him like he's has a secret relationship. I think Cisco's kind of embarrassed to say, like, "No, I'm just head over heels for this lady who I barely know."
For some reason.
For some reason, she pretty. That's pretty much it. The way it's because she has this, "Oh, Cisco," look to her face, like, "Oh," doe-eyed look. Apparently, this goes into that. We go to the guest quarters, where it's party time with the professor. Boosh, 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 boosh. If only. God, this seems like a lame party. Because it's mainly the higher ups, the like
Yeah, like a
Cisco, Kira,
little dinner party.
Dax, Bashir. They all got their drinks, and the professor just goes on and on and on about his accomplishments. And you could tell Kira's just like, "Can I please go?" Well, Bashir's just eating it up.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Bashir probably sees a little bit of himself in this guy.
Yeah, this is definitely life goals for Bashir.
Um, in this process, he explains what they're doing with the star, yada yada yada. And then he mentions, "Oh, my wife is making dinner." I was one of them. I've been like, "Wife? What? Where's she
My
at?
wife.
My wife?"
And he also mentions that he's been married many times.
Yes. Which that tracks. And then the wife comes in with the meal.
Dun dun dun. It's fennel.
Fennel. And the professor goes, "This is my wife, Nadell?"
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And then Dax. Did Dax ever see?
I think what she had said was that's why she was on Cisco's case. She had seen them talking on the promenade. So she knows what she
Gosh.
looks
Okay,
like.
so she did see her because she leans over to leans over to Cisco and goes, "Now we have something to talk about."
And I think the direction that the director gave the actress whenever she's playing Nadell is, can you act like you're in one of those depression medication commercials?
That the pre
In the before
in the
time, when
before.
the world is still gray and saturated. She looks like a dead woman walking.
Yes.
Every
Which
before and after, honestly, every single moment she's on screen, which is a bizarre choice.
yes. There should have been more of a stark difference at the end with her because I could at least understand in some way this direction because of
Yeah, they
the
wanted to
Fena.
convey
Yeah.
that she is depressed.
She is
So that's
uber depressed.
it's
Like,
accurate.
she
It's just a
needs
bit
meds.
much
She needs
because she's a zombie
Yes.
and just is not giving anything.
Like, pretty much her husband has just sucked the life force out of her. That's why he's such a 10. He's just like, he's
Feeds
just,
her energy.
that would have, honestly, that would have been a great twist.
That's how I terraform these planets.
That's why all the wives end up leaving because she's just sucking their life force out.
I think to me, this is a classic example of some actors and actresses can't play subdued well. It's like the people who try and play Vulcans and just sort of come across dead, whereas the good
Dead and boring. Yeah.
and just like not giving anything. Like there's just it's a more nuanced performance, but it's still performance, and she's just completely shut off.
Yeah, it should have been more of her just going through the motions, and then maybe when people aren't looking, then she goes into like literally dead mode.
So it just needed more nuance. It was even every time they talk about it, she's just like,
Blah, 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 blah. Like, if anybody at that table would look at her, especially Bashir, and go,
yeah, this should have been a red flag to everyone here. Like, are you okay?
Do you need help? Blink twice. Blink twice. They have their meal, and then Cisco lingers.
Yeah, because she acts like she doesn't even recognize me. So he's confused.
Yeah, because he's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" And she's just like, "Bitch, I don't know you." And legit, she's looking at him like, "Who are you? This is the first time we met." But when he mentions the name Fena, she does stop for
like
a
it's a
second.
slight acting moment out of her, and then
Yeah.
it's back to
And then back to
Commander, your
depression
thoughts are
mode.
mistaking me for someone else. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
So, yeah, denies all, but the name makes her sad. In Ops, Dax and Cisco are talking, and Cisco's like, "We have a problem. This can't go on. She's married." Which Dax goes, "That wouldn't have stopped Curzon."
Yeah, we know Dex.
Again, why? Why is Curzon on a pedestal in any way? He sounds like a complete asshat.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have stopped Curzon. Ugh, gross. And Cisco's like, "Yeah, I have a bit more of a moral compass." So Odo calls in, ain't no Fenna, to which Cisco goes, "I found her. She's on the ship, the Prometheus or whatever." And Odo's like, "No one but the professor has left that ship."
Dun dun dun. It can't be. Also,
Which,
bullshit. This shit. There's more than like one person on the ship. There's a whole crew of people. But
yeah.
on a station, that's usually when you have like shore leave and everyone gets off and like sees the sights.
Yeah, there should have been another way to
Yeah, but they wanted to really
infer this
make it punchy to
information,
be like,
yeah.
no one has left the ship. Wouldn't have been as punchy if they would be like, no one matching her description has left the ship.
Okay, Odo. On the promenade, sad boy Sisko looking out the window doesn't turn around to find Fenna, but Quark
Womp womp.
with a drink in hand. Pretty much Quark also knows that he's having lady troubles. I'm like, damn, who on the station doesn't know Sisko's business? Tries to give him a drink and say, "Hey, you can take care of that heartbreak with one of my hollow sweets." And Sisko's like, "Ugh, no," leaves. Goes down like a hallway or something where Fenna appears and runs up to Sisko. And Sisko ain't having it. He starts asking her questions. He's like, "I need to know who you are
From whence do you come?
because shit ain't lining up." And Finn, of course, like, saying all the right things. "It doesn't matter. What matters is the two of us and how we love each other." And then kissy kissy, and she disappears
Poof.
right in his arms. Yikes. How seems very, because we cut right to the next scene and I guess docking bay or some kind of docking area. Cisco just seems very not phased that literally a lady just disappeared in his arms, but okay. Miles and Dax are helping the professor with his trip because they're all getting on this
They're all getting on the ship to
starship,
go
right?
do
The Dead Star.
the experiment. Yeah.
Yeah.
This very important, critical experiment that has never been attempted before. And Cisco's like, this is the right time to barge in and confront about my love life. So he's like, I'm coming too.
Like, sir.
I think there's a time and a place for this.
Is he afraid that once that happened, they wouldn't
I don't know.
come back or something along those? I don't know. But no, they left Prometheus.
They had to line it up so that he could get on the shuttle later yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. Cisco is going.
So Cisco
With
comes
Dax to
aboard,
see
endangers the
the
mission
star.
and all their lives.
I
Because they have established that if this goes wrong, the sun will go supernova and they'll be blown up.
know.
Just
I'm
a
like,
heads up.
Cisco, think about your son. You remember that heart-to-heart moment you had at the beginning of the episode? I think he's more important than this lady. You don't know. I do think it's funny, though, Cisco and the professor are talking on the ship, and Cisco quotes something, and you could tell how much it bothers the professor for just a moment. Like, he finished his quote, or he did something, and professor's like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "Oh, apparently professor can be the only smart boy." That was interesting. Little peek into his character. He does talk to Cisco about Nyla. I guess she was the daughter of a leader of a people that the professor saved or helped on this
He
planet.
terraformed, planet for them.
And he's like, "She was so in love with me." I'm like, "Are you sure she wasn't just given to you as a gift.
Ooh. Well, he does say that this is what he says either here or later is this is how all his relationships start. Is they always start with people being actually in love with them, and then after a while they
He met this guy. I have a feeling he thinks she was
uh,
infatuated, and it was more of a the leader going, he saved our people, marry my daughter."
maybe.
And she just kinda had to go along with it. Maybe because she was smiling back then and she's not smiling now, so he thinks she was so in love. I don't know. I doubt that she was as infatuated as he's playing it out to be. I think that's more his ego. We go to Sisko's quarters on the ship, where he finds Benna. And before anything else can happen, he goes, "Boop, Dex, please come to my room." And he's like gonna trying to hold her there while
Don't
Dax is on the way, like, "Please don't disappear." Talking to her, and Dax comes in the room and starts scanning her, and she's just pure energy.
I know Dax, but tell me what she is. No, literally, she's pure energy. Oh,
All three of them go to the professor's guest quarters, where the professor is in a state because he's trying to wake up Nyla. She will
Nadell.
whatever. Nadell, trying to wake up Nadell.
And she is like in a coma,
Coma.
basically.
Dax does her little boopity boopity thing. She's dying. And the professor's like, "Do something!" And Dax is like,
This was kind of weird too. Like, shouldn't they be rushing her to sick bay or something instead of Dax just
"Yeah,
being
'cause
like,
this is a
I
starship.
don't
They
know
have
what to
to."
do.
Yeah, they have a sick bay.
Uh,
Something.
she's basically dead. Don't
She's in a
worry about
coma.
it. It's
Don't
like,
worry.
why are we giving up so fast?
I know. Because he asked her twice. Again, he does it. And she's like, "Again, I can't do anything." I'm like, I feel
I'm
like
not a
you,
doctor,
I feel like you could do something.
but we don't want to pay to make another set. We can't take her to sick bay. We don't want to pay for any more guest actors, so the doctor can't come here. So this is all you get.
Pretty sure they could have gone across the street to Next Gen to see their
Right.
sick bay. At this point, the professor finally notices Fenna, and he knows her, and he blames her. He's like, "It's you. It's because of you that my wife is like this." Okay, what's going on here? We find out from the professor. Well, first he says, Nidell
Nadell.
promised the professor that Fenna would never return again, and that she is a projection, a projected illusion from Nidell. So she's some kind of
Yeah.
telepath.
They describe as a psychoprojective telepath.
And when she's uber depressed, I guess she projects this other
That's when
self.
bad Nadell comes in.
To tell,
She wears makeup and a red dress.
and just falls in love with men and goes, "I love you." So bad. I know it's the romance part of it
Right.
because of
It's
her situation with the
a
professor.
manifestation of a midlife crisis, I guess.
And yes, because this happened about 3 years ago, and it I guess the process, because she's pure energy, it takes it from Nidell and it slowly kills her. And I guess it almost killed her last time. And Nidell doesn't know she's doing it.
If she doesn't know she's doing it, how did she promise that it wouldn't happen again?
Yeah. I'll be happy. I'll be happy. It's like, is that what it's supposed to be relaying? Like, she's thinking she could force herself into happiness with her husband. So Fenna pops out during heightened stress. And here we reveal that yes, the professor's had multiple wives, and he's like, the same pattern happens, and they leave. But with Nidell, it's different because she mates for life.
Yeah, her species.
So divorce is not a word in their vocabulary. And so she's stuck with him. So that's why there's this projected form, because she cannot leave her husband. I'm like, okay, yes, you can't divorce, but there's people who don't divorce and who live separate lives. Like, couldn't she just go to her own planet and he just
Plus, I'm
visit
sure
her?
on her own planet, there would be people who have dealt with this. This must be a known thing.
Yeah.
If you have a culture that is that like This seems almost
This
beyond
this
societal
happened in,
norms.
like,
This
the
is like they
Catholic ch
just
yes,
do not
'cause there were
divorce.
processes for this, like, in the Catholic Church because you're not supposed to get divorced, but
Right.
if something happened,
There must
there's
be loveless marriages on
yes, where
Alana
literally they
Prime.
would okay, like, say the husband was abusive, they would okay the wife to live a separate life. They couldn't get divorced, but they would grant her, like, "You can live separately from your husband." So, yeah, if you have a culture where they mate for life, there has to be systems in place where she can either live separately, different lives. She just can't have
Maybe everyone on their planet is
rumor.
getting it on with a psychoprojective projection.
All need therapy, okay.
Yeah, this whole planet. Halanans will do anything but go to therapy.
I just if she is
Maybe
literally
that's what the new
that
planet was for. Although
a separate plan
a whole planet
for
for the loveless
separated.
marriage separated couples. Good, this is getting out of control, man. You got to make us another planet so we can get out of here. Okay, fine. Here you go. We solved it.
Yes, that's create another planet. That's how you solve this thing.
Alanians will do anything but go to therapy. You can go to therapy. Let's just make a new planet. I'll live there instead.
But, like, for the professor, it's like, you I know you're an egomaniac, but it seems like he senses that she is unhappy.
Yeah, he has
He's
moments here where he's
some
putting it together, and he's not as like delusional as he seems.
exactly. So
So,
why wouldn't you do something to help your wife? Like, do a Hades and Persephone. They hang out for 6 months together, and then she goes to her home for 6 months,
well,
something
that
like
didn't
that.
work out well in the end.
But at least they did something. Do something. Try anything than her just following this egomaniac around and being miserable. I don't know. It's so flimsy. I just that's what upsets me. It just feels flimsy, especially what we know about society and people have been in these situations
I guess it's
before.
because that he volunteers this where it seems like he's known this all along. It probably would have been better if someone gave him that speech and that made it sink in for
Yes,
him
that probably would have
that,
helped.
oh, this is what's happening, which is why he never took action before. But he seems fully
Yes.
aware of everything
Or
and understands it, which means like, well, then why did they wait this long to do something
or
about
he
it?
was already in the process of trying to figure things out with Nidell, and she's being stubborn because maybe on her planet, like, they don't do that. Like, no, we say we have to be together. And maybe he's trying to
Right.
figure out a way, like, but that's killing you. You were miserable. So something where they were maybe already like in the process of trying to figure this out. And maybe on her side, she's like, no, maybe it's look like I can't be separated from you. What will my people think? I can't go
Yeah.
home separated. You know, something like that. Instead, we just, I guess, have to kill off her husband. Because, okay, back to the notes. Sisko, back in his quarters, tries to explain this to Fenna, but she's not having it. It's lies. I don't understand. But at some point, Sisko is able to convince her that she needs to go back to Nidell. And Fenna's like, okay, but I don't know how. What do you mean? While they're talking about this is where Dax calls in and goes, the professor took a little shuttle ship and he's going towards the star. Apparently on a suicide mission. They go to the what's the main deck of the ship? 'Cause it's
Bridge.
not bridge. I keep wanting to say ops because we keep
Ah.
saying ops, and I'm like, no, it's not ops. It's bridge.
Bridge, we get the worst kiss performance I've ever
Oh,
seen.
oh, oh my gosh.
Professor, you'll be killed. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. This guy was terrible. Terrible. This captain of the ship was the most
What is he talking about?
monotone. No,
Not great.
no
Not great.
infliction. I'm like, nobody else on set grab a extra. I'm pretty sure they could have done better. Yeah, I kept getting distracted by this awful, awful captain.
Yeah, but basically, Sayatek is taking the shuttle and he's gonna fly it himself into the star and die, and thus free Nadell.
Again, feel like they need other systems in place.
Men will do anything but go to therapy. I'll fly myself into a star. It's
I'll go
okay.
into a star.
Jeez.
Change? Be a different person? Fuck no.
I'm gonna fly into a star.
to a star. Again, if we had any sense of their relationship, maybe he tried to change. Didn't go well. Like anything. It just seems like he's like,
0 to 100.
guess I'll die.
Guess I'll die.
Guess I'll die. And of course, Sisko is like, no,
No, stop.
stop, don't die. But probably more because his girl will be gone. Because literally, the professor dies. Also, he says he left his will to Sisko. Whatever. He dies. We turn to Fenna. She has a tear roll down her cheek. And then, boop, disappeared. Bye, Fenna. On the promenade, Sisko's walking about. Nidell comes up to him.
I just wanted to say goodbye and thank you. It'll be good to get home
Thanks, Hep.
for the rest of my life.
she's
I haven't
gonna-
got too long as it is.
She goes home and wishes she could remember Fenna. And Sisko says,
Yeah, well, yeah, so
Fenna was like...
Nadell asks, what was she like? Right?
Mhm.
And Cisco's like, she was just like you.
BS?
and
Where do we see that?
even
All
in
I
her
see is a
reaction to
depressed
this,
person.
I know. And not only that, even after hearing this, she just sort of turns and just like shuffles, literally shuffles off
No reaction at all.
straight up and down like a stick. Just like I don't think she was anything like you.
They're complete opposites. That's how we knew she was a completely different person. Like, not just dress. When he first talks to her, Nidell, it's like, oh, these two are completely different people. Like, there's no way Fenna and Nidell can be the same person unless she's like the best actress ever. So for him to go, because I thought he was going to say something sweet like, oh, she always looked to the stars or just something very sweet. No, and he goes, she's like you. I'm like, what?
Depressed? Yeah, what it should have been is
Just,
it should have been
she was happy.
they should have
She had
cut
a
out this
lust
whole
for
beginning
life.
part
Yeah.
of this conversation and just start with, tell me what she was like, and he can then describe those qualities, and she can be like, I wish I was like that, and then he could be like, it's inside you because Fenna
Yes.
came from
From
you.
you.
You can be more than you think.
Yes.
And
would've
that
been a nice
inspires her.
note.
Not just, yeah, you guys are basically the same.
I'm sorry. That was just like the cherry on top of the sundae of Sisko doesn't know anything about this woman that he says he's in love with.
Weren't even wearing the same dress, and that's all he knows about her. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it would have been better if he went, she looked good in red. Maybe you should try it. Like, that would have been better than she was like you. Bitch, where?
And maybe they could have recovered it by her, like, seeing her take this in and, like, walk off in a Fenna-like way instead of, like, I don't know if you noticed, but she literally just, like, she just shuffles off the set.
And it must have been direction because we know she can act. She played Fenna.
I think some people, when they're told to, like, tone it down, they just shut down. But yeah, no, we don't know the situation on set. Maybe she kept getting told less, and so it was like, fine, because do nothing.
Do nothing.
Dead fish, flop, flop, flop.
Be a robot.
Yeah. Missed opportunity at the end to like nail something about.
I know something.
Some takeaway.
Because then we just get Sisko looking out and being sad boy. The end.
I think the smallest possible change you could have done is at least be like, she is you.
Yes.
Not she's like you, because they weren't. But almost be like, what are you talking about? She's you. Which would have sunk in like, oh yeah, that is a part of me. I can tap into those feelings and that personality. At least that would have been something.
Yeah,
that's a tiny little change.
She seems dead inside, and Fenna seemed very passionate about life.
Yeah.
So at least you can have that passion for life again. You have a second life. Your husband's dead.
Yeah, I know. She's free, and she's like, oh well, back to
Yeah,
home
it just seems
planet.
like she'll go back home and be depressed still.
Yeah, there's no change. Anyway,
Yeah. Not a terrible episode, just a meh.
yeah.
And it
The ultimate problem with it is just
started
that
off
it's
so
yeah.
well.
For
That
how well it
first
started off, there was
scene.
everything about the relationship, you just don't buy it.
No,
Aside from
not at
the
all.
little bit of chemistry you can see in how they talk to each other, aside from that, there was just nothing deeper to show why they were so in love.
And it's because she's a projection. She's a nobody, which I think that was a mistake. It should have just been another like slice of Nadell. This person, that way she could still have her likes, her dislikes,
Yes.
some kind of history toward, like she could have some parts of her that were developed. Yes, it would be still like she doesn't know her past, stuff like that, but
You could do something
something.
where yeah, she has a certain like.
I love pie. I don't know, any
I
type
love
of
spicy peppers. And of
something.
course, Nadell thinks she only likes bland food, but then that could be something that they connect. Like, oh yeah,
Anything.
I
She
also like
literally
spicy peppers.
she literally had no personality.
But I haven't eaten them in forever because Sayatek doesn't like them. And maybe at the end of the scene, she eats a spicy pepper.
The promenade, walking up to Sisko.
Got my spicy pepper. Something.
Something.
And I think the problem was also that you had that first meeting, which is very mysterious and aloof, which is fine.
Which is fine. I think that, the
You
first
can tell there's a connection there,
meeting
but there's no depth. The second one should have
built.
really
Yes.
dove into
Yes.
some other, but it kept being the same thing.
Yes.
So therefore, we wasted screen time not forming a connection.
And just Sisko looking lonely everywhere.
Yeah.
Where's the lady in the red jumpsuit?
Thankfully, they do a much better job of this with his next real relationship,
Yes.
which allows me to forgive all this because they do nail it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what's our next episode?
Next episode is Sanctuary.
Do you
I don't remember this one.
Yeah, I was about to say, nothing ringing a bell.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully we go back on the upswing.
I think that we got a couple more middling episodes to get through before we start going back on the roller coaster.
I guess Necessary Evil's just gonna have to hold us out for a couple more episodes.
Yes. Indeed.
All right. Well, whatever we get, we will see you in a couple weeks.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.